All right, let's get right into it. AI is completely changing the game for how we manage people at work. Everything from hiring all the way to performance reviews. And look, it's promising this incredible future, one that's way more efficient, and believe it or not, even more human. But there's a flip side, a much darker side, that's creating brand new headaches.
So we're going to unpack this double-edged sword. We're going to explore all the amazing things AI can do for people ops, but then we have to confront the very real, very serious risks that come right along with it. This is all based on what leaders are seeing out in the field, right now.
And here's the tension at the heart of it all. On one hand, you've got this promise. AI can get rid of all the tedious stuff, freeing us up to be more strategic, more empathetic. But on the other hand, it's kicking off this crazy adversarial arms race, especially in hiring, with sophisticated new threats popping up what feels like every single day. So how in the world do you manage that?
But let's start at the front lines, the first big battleground where this is all playing out, recruitment. This is where you can really see that push and pull between the promise of AI and its peril. It's really visible and incredibly urgent.
So what's actually happening here? How is AI fundamentally rewriting the rules for how we find, vet, and ultimately hire people?
The big promise is all about one thing: speed, just incredible velocity. AI agents are automating the soul-crushing work of screening thousands of resumes. They're speeding up onboarding like you wouldn't believe, and they're getting rid of all those slow, manual handoffs between different systems. Companies are just moving faster than they ever thought possible.
But, and this is a huge but, that exact same speed, that same automation has thrown the doors wide open to something way more dangerous. It has unleashed a brand new and pretty potent threat that a lot of companies just weren't ready for.
The downside is this massive surge in really sophisticated candidate fraud. And I'm not talking about someone just fudging a date on their resume. No, we're seeing AI-powered identity spoofing, deepfake videos, even imposter candidates showing up for video interviews using someone else's face. And these methods, these fraud vectors, they change depending on the industry. Just think about AI-generated nursing credentials that look totally real, or tech candidates using AI in real time to ace a live coding test. It's wild.
So the only way to counter this is, well, to fight AI with AI. A solid defense needs multiple layers. First, you've got to deploy specialized AI detection agents that are literally built to spot these new fraud patterns. But tech alone is not a silver bullet. You have to keep humans in the loop for that final judgment call. And third, you need to tighten up verification right at the start. Simple things like multi-factor authentication can make it so much harder for these bad actors to even get through the door.
This whole hiring arms race, it actually points to a much bigger problem. It's forcing companies to completely tear up their old playbook for how they govern and control AI. That old rulebook, yeah, it's officially useless now.
This really shows you the fundamental shift. It used to be that AI governance was a one-and-done kind of thing, right? You'd write up a policy, stick it in a binder on a shelf, and forget about it. That static model just doesn't work anymore. The new way is all about continuous governance, with real operational guardrails that are watching these AI agents while they're actually working, what the tech folks call at runtime.
So let's make that super clear. Think of old governance like a bouncer at a club who checks your ID once when you walk in. Runtime governance? That's like having security guards constantly patrolling the floor, making sure everything stays on the up and up in real time. It's about constantly monitoring the AI to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do, accurately and safely, while it's live.
And here's why this is so critical. The tech is just moving way, way faster than the regulations can keep up. This quote nails it. There's a huge gap that regulators haven't filled yet. And what that means is the responsibility is falling squarely on companies to build these strong internal governance systems themselves, like right now.
This also means the team in charge of AI governance is getting a whole lot bigger. It's not just an HR thing or an IT thing anymore. The new governance team is this cross-functional supergroup. You've got data scientists, risk officers, security leaders, business heads, and get this, even psychologists to help understand the human impact. You need all those different brains in the room.
So this new way of thinking about governance, it's not just some process running in the background. No, all of these changes are leading to a totally new reality for your employees. A world where AI isn't just a tool they use, it's actually becoming a member of the team.
And that creates a whole new division of labor. AI agents are starting to take over things like documenting past performance, scheduling all the meetings, collecting evidence for reviews, the grunt work. This frees up us humans to focus on what we do best: high-level strategic planning,
building real connections with people, and making those tough, complex judgment calls. The AI handles the rote stuff so humans can handle the strategic stuff.
This brings us to a really powerful new idea, the digital coworker. We have to start thinking about these AI agents not just as pieces of software, but as actual members of the team. That means they need to be onboarded, they need to be given clear goals and KPIs, they need to be managed for performance, and they need security protocols, just like any human employee. Now, this new reality has a direct impact on the employee experience. The promise is a more human HR, where AI can scale personalized coaching and free us all up for more meaningful work. But the risk? The risk is creating what some people are calling work slop. That's where a badly governed AI just churns out extra, low-quality, inefficient work that just makes everyone's job more frustrating.
So to avoid that work slop and actually get to the good stuff, building employee trust is absolutely 100% non-negotiable. This means making sure systems are securely connected, being totally transparent about how data is being used, and grounding really sensitive things like performance reviews in objective evidence that the AI brings to the table. That can make those conversations so much more constructive and a lot less biased.
So, if we put all these pieces together, we're moving toward a future that is way more automated, but one that also demands way more accountability than ever before. So, what does it actually take to lead in this new world?
Here's a pretty clear 3-step playbook for any leader out there. First, get your C-suite aligned. The heads of HR, tech, and finance have to be in lockstep on this. Second, start treating these AI agents like actual roles. That's how you put that digital coworker idea into action. Give them job descriptions, give them metrics. And third, measure the outcomes, not just how much it's being used. This is how you avoid that work slop and actually prove that AI is delivering real productivity and innovation.
And look, the stakes here could not be higher. CEOs are looking at this moment as a refounding opportunity, a chance to totally redesign how work gets done. But they also know it's a difficult orchestration. Getting this right is a massive leadership challenge that requires everyone, from the board all the way down to every single employee, to be on board.
And that really brings us to the final critical question. This isn't some far-off hypothetical future we're talking about anymore. AI agents are becoming your digital coworkers. They are joining your team right now. So the only real question left is, are you ready to lead them?